and welcome to another episode of Podcast DX, the show that brings you interviews with people just like you whose lives were forever changed by a medical diagnosis. I'm Lita. Ron will not be with us today.
And I'm Jean Marie.
Collectively, we're the hosts of Podcast DX. On today's show, we are speaking with Sarah Olson about her experience with Blastomycosis. Hi, Sarah. Thank you for joining us today. And before we get started, could you please introduce yourself to our listening audience?
Sure. My name is Sarah, and I am from Wisconsin, the mid portion, upper portion, and I am a mother of a 15-year-old son, and I'm 48.
Okay. Thank you.
Hi,
Thank
Sarah.
you for that. Yes.
Thank you for
Thanks.
taking the time to join us today. We really appreciate it.
Oh, sure.
And could you tell us a little bit about your experience with blastomycosis? I have not ever heard of this before.
I hadn't either. So I started getting sick in January of 2024 with what I thought was just the flu. My son had the flu, so we just assumed that that's what I had as well. However, my testing showed up negative for it, and they think it was because I was so far along having it that it wasn't showing up, and I was just still dealing with the symptoms.
Okay.
So she checked my lungs, and there was some crackling sounds. So they took me down for an x-ray. It came back, they said I had pneumonia. So they put me on antibiotics, prednisone, cough syrup, all that good stuff. I was on that antibiotic all the way through, was not getting better. In fact, I was getting worse. So I went back. They put me on another antibiotic. And at this point, they sent me for a CT scan because the crackling sounds in my lungs had gotten worse. So the CT scan, they also did blood.
Mm-hmm.
And it showed that my D-dimer was high. So they thought maybe I had a pulmonary embolism, which
Okay.
the CT scan did confirm.
Oh, okay.
So I was sent home again with blood thinners for the embolism, and more antibiotics, more prednisone, and more just stuff for my cough. And then they did blood, and that blood did show that like all my levels were off. And the levels showed that it was something more than just bacterial pneumonia. And they did a swab of my sputum. The sputum showed that I had no bacterial growth, but I had fungal growth.
Okay.
But for some reason, this didn't warrant them to do fungal testing. So they kept treating me for what they thought was bacterial pneumonia. And I kept getting worse and worse, so I had to go to the hospital. I was admitted for 5 days with even heavier antibiotics and prednisone. And after 5 days, I was starting to feel a little bit better, so they actually sent me home. And I went back to the doctor 3 days later for a follow-up. My O2 levels were still in the 70s.
Oh.
So, yeah, she wanted to admit me again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I begged her not to. And I promised that I would come back in like 3 days if she would send me home with oxygen.
Okay.
So she sent me home with oxygen. And I did go back to my follow-up appointment after that 3 days and feeling worse. And so I finally consented to being readmitted. At that point, they decided they wanted to do a bronchoscopy to find out what was going on. But because I had been on Eliquis, which is a blood thinner, they had to wait quite a few days.
Okay.
So while I was waiting in the hospital for that 3 days to come up, my O2 levels went down in the 30s.
Holy camoly.
Yeah, they intubated me. And at that point, they had called my family in to come say their goodbyes. Thankfully, a visiting doctor demanded that I get that bronchoscopy done or a lung biopsy done immediately to find out if this was fungal. And she demanded that I be transferred. So she called 5 different hospitals to find out if they would take me. University of Wisconsin in Madison was the only one that would accept my case. So I was then immediately placed on ECMO and air flighted to UW-Madison because I live like 2.5 hours away.
Oh, wow.
So from there, I was in a coma for 4 weeks. And during that coma, they didn't think that I was going to make it. I wasn't getting any better for some reason. One of the chest tubes, because they had 3 chest tubes in me, along with the ECMO tubes. And one of the chest tubes wasn't placed correctly or something, so nothing was draining from me. And I was septic. I had multi-organ failure at that point. So they just didn't think my outlook wasn't good. It was like a 5% chance. But my family kept saying, no, they kept asking, do you want to, prolong this or, keep her going? And they thankfully kept me going.
So you were unconscious during all that. You couldn't make your own decisions.
No.
Okay.
No. It was my significant other. He's my son's dad. We've been together for 17 years. We're just not married.
Okay.
But it was him and my brother making the decisions.
Okay.
And so after 4 weeks, I woke up finally. They started bringing me out of sedation. I woke up and instantly I was starting to get better, just miraculously.
Wow.
I think once they figured out that one chest tube wasn't draining properly and they, redid it, that helped tremendously. And I think that's what helped me, And at that point, too, I was getting IV, it's called amphotericin B. It's a super strong antifungal medicine. But it kills your body at the same time. It's kind of like chemo.
Okay.
So that's why I had kidney failure, liver failure, all of that stuff. So after 4 weeks, they brought me out of sedation. So the final 2 to 3 weeks that I was on ECMO, I was awake. And I was doing physical therapy, occupational therapy, all of that stuff to keep, obviously.
Try to bring your organs back.
And regaining all your strength.
Bring organs back. Yeah, and all my muscle had wasted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I first woke up, I couldn't turn myself in bed. I couldn't sit up. Every muscle was just gone. I felt like a wet noodle, like a baby.
Yeah.
So they were working with me every day on that. And then meanwhile, I'm still on ECMO and, continuing to get better. And at that point, that was in late March, early April, and they were expecting that I was going to be there until about October. Thankfully, I don't know how, but my body decided to be my friend. And it was getting better and better in miraculous time. The doctors were just absolutely amazed. So I was actually able to leave the hospital on May 13th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was a really quick turnaround. Once I turned that corner and I started getting better, it was all miracles from there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so I was in a coma for 4 weeks. I was on ECMO for 6, ventilator for 8. As you can see my scar. And then I finally got out after 81 days.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if we can take a step back,
blastomycosis is a fungal. We're going to guess is a fungal problem. And do you know how you might have inhaled that? Are you an avid gardener? Or are you a farmer?
Not a farmer, and I had never gardened before, so we don't think it was from that. However, I am very active, like outside, as far as kayaking, hiking.
Okay.
And I also love to do yard work.
Okay.
And I think that's how I got it,
Okay.
was raking leaves.
Okay.
Or we were having a bonfire in our backyard, and I was handling some moldy, musty wood.
Okay.
So that also is a way that I could have gotten it. They're not really for sure. But they said that it was the biggest case of blastomycosis they've ever seen, because my lungs were completely, instead of black, which is what you want when you see on those.
On an X-ray, right.
Right.
Yeah, it was all white.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my left lower part of my lung collapsed.
Okay.
So blastomycosis, it is a fungal infection. I live in an area of the United States that is the #1 area for it.
Wisconsin?
Yes.
Okay.
Or just the Midwest?
Wisconsin specifically, and then my county is the #1 county in the country for it, because there's a river that we have that runs through here. It's the Wolf River. It's huge. I guess it has a ton of it. So, but it is a fungal. It's a spore that is found within the Midwest, along the Mississippi River Valley, which is weird because I actually grew up on the Mississippi and never got it. But now living up here, I got it. It's up in Canada a little bit. There was a huge outbreak in Michigan at a paper milling plant, which that makes sense because you're dealing with
the wood. Right.
Yeah.
They had over 200 cases of it a few years back. But yeah, it's a fungal infection that presents as bacterial pneumonia. Sometimes you can present it on the skin. I didn't have it on the skin, but I had it inside my mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, so my whole mouth, it's kind of gross, but it was full of ulcers that even if I just moved my mouth, they would break open, and thankfully I was under for that part.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fungal infection. It's kind of like valley fever in the Southwest. This is the sister version of the Midwest.
Okay.
And I guess a good point here is, if the antibiotics aren't working, ask your healthcare provider.
Yeah, what else
should we be looking in a different direction?
And now this was during COVID, right?
Yes. It was in 2024. So COVID, I mean, I did get tested for COVID because, I was feeling so horrible. That's what I thought I had.
Sure.
But now that I know about, I woke up from the 4-week coma, wondering where I was. I was told I was at UW-Madison and I had blastomycosis. I had never even heard of it.
Right.
And most people hear about it. It gets in dogs.
Okay.
Dogs get it very frequently.
Okay.
Typically it's fatal for them, unfortunately, because they can't have ECMO on a dog. But it was it developed in my lungs. That's what it affected. And then there was a tiny spot on my brain, but the repeat MRI after I had the medicine showed that that speck was gone. So it affected my lungs.
Now, did your lungs come back, or, I mean, like to full function, or did you need a transplant, or?
No, thankfully I didn't need a transplant. They were able to come back, not baseline, not fully like I was before. I'll never be the same. But it's enough to where I can be somewhat active and not be affected.
Okay.
And Sarah, what has been the most challenging part of your recovery? I mean, all of it sounds incredibly challenging, and you sound like an extraordinarily strong person.
Thanks.
But what was the most challenging part of your recovery, and how did you work through it?
So the most challenging part, to be honest with you, is the psychological.
Okay.
Having PTSD from, there were so many medical procedures that had to be done, and I wasn't able to be sedated for them. So other than what they were giving me for pain at that point, which at that point, I mean, I had been on fentanyl, propofol. I was on it all when they had me under. So anything that they gave me for pain, it didn't really do anything because my body was just so used to it. So that was a huge part while I was in the hospital, is weaning me off of those opiates. So every procedure that they did to me, I had to just be fully awake for it and deal with it.
Wow.
So that was hard. And then I have what's called post-intensive care syndrome. Basically, just amount of nerve damage from the ECMO tubes put in me. My right side is somewhat numb compared to my left side, because that's where they had a tube in my groin. The tubes are like the size of a garden hose. And they had one in my right in my groin, and then they had one, the scar's going away, but one in my neck.
Okay.
So that caused a lot of nerve damage that I'll have to deal with the rest of my life.
Okay.
Cognitive issues I have, really bad, short-term memory issues, saying a lot.
That's
'Cause I
okay.
can't think of
No,
what I want to
They,
say.
Yeah.
they say that saying is a sign of intelligence.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. Intelligent
Right.
people say a lot.
It's because they're really thinking about what they want to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been the hardest part, the psychological. When I got home, I had home health
Okay.
that came 3 times a week for physical therapy, and then just to check my vitals and things like that. I had to check in every day with that for a while. And learning how to walk was really difficult. And I was able to, by the time I left, I had to walk for 6 minutes, and not have issues with oxygen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was able to do that on just 1 liter of oxygen. So they did send me home with some, and I was able to complete that, being done with oxygen by July.
Okay.
So I'm not on that anymore. But yeah, the hardest part was the psychological. I still deal with that quite a bit, and I'm getting therapy for that.
Okay. That's great. Do you
Yeah.
do you feel anxious just when you think about going to the doctor or going for a procedure?
Not anymore.
Okay.
I feel more, to me, the PTSD is more about kind of what happened when I was under.
Okay.
There's people that have been in comas before. They, I don't know if it's all the sedation that they give you, but a lot of things that happened while I was in a coma, I'm sure a lot of it aligned with like things that they were doing to me medically, and it would seep into what happened, like what I was thinking when I was in a coma.
Okay.
And I remember everything like 100%.
Okay.
And it's terrifying because
Sure.
like I was part of like a sex trafficking ring. I was part of like being in these like weird drug houses drug dens that were getting raided. Just weird, scary things that happen when you're under.
Okay. So I mean, is it something like, and I don't think any of us can truly empathize with you unless we've been in the same situation, but when you wake up in the morning and you've had a bad dream, you're able to talk it out, the next morning. But if you're in a coma for 4 weeks, you're not getting that break in return to reality. So yeah, that seems like it would definitely take a toll. And what role have your friends and family played in your treatment and in recovery? And you were, quite a distance from your home. Were they able to see you and how did that play out?
Yeah.
My partner, he was only able to see me like once every 2 weeks, because he had just started a job right as soon as I was being airlifted. That day he got an offer for a job, and he explained everything that was going on, and the recruiter told him that he would be fine, but he ended up having to be let go because they wouldn't give him any time off.
Oh,
boy.
jeez.
So, and obviously with having our son, in school sports and in school, I mean, I was the one that handled all that. So, and we didn't have any help. I don't have any family here. My mom, sister, and dad have passed away. I do have a brother that lives somewhat close, and he was super helpful. So, yes, my brother, and then my partner's mom, my mother-in-law. She was there for me a lot. She came when no one else could, just to keep my mind off things. And I mean, because I couldn't talk, I couldn't communicate. The only way I could do things is mouth words. So she basically just would go there and she would do the talking for me.
Okay.
Wow. I mean, just an incredible, complex recovery that had to be. How did your son handle it?
I'm surprised because he grew up very fast. The son I had when I went into the hospital was not the son I had when I got out.
Wow.
He had a lot of maturing that he had to do, because he had to do a lot of things for himself when his dad was working, getting himself up ready for school and stuff on his own. So it was probably something he needed to do anyway because he was at that age. But it's just the circumstances behind it. But to be honest with you, he was, whereas my partner would break down and show emotion and cry, my son was the one that was strong and held it, kind of was there for him, saying, you know what, it's mom, she'll fight, she'll get through it.
And he was right.
Yeah, and at one point he actually went up, this was when the times were still scary, he went up to the doctor and he's like, is my mom gonna die? And so that broke my heart when I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot for a child to take on.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did like, you obviously weren't able to eat when you were in a coma, but how has nutrition helped at all in your recovery?
Yeah, quite a bit. At first it was a problem. Right when I was about getting released, they had strict requirements on once I got the vent out and I had the swallowing studies done and I was able to eat again, which was the most amazing thing ever. I was not able to get in the calories and protein and all of that they wanted me to.
Okay.
So that was difficult at first. Once I got home and had more access to other normal food, I gained all the weight back that that I had lost. I lost 50 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So now I've gained all that back since, unfortunately.
Well,
but
your body found,
but
it needed it.
Yeah, your body found its base again.
Right.
It did, and I was rebuilding all of that muscle. So I was just making sure that I was eating, once I got out of the hospital, eating enough to take care of the amount of calories I was burning with every movement I made.
Okay.
Because at that point, you know, everything I did was using as much energy as I had.
Right.
So I was making sure that I was eating enough just so that my body wasn't, you know, eating itself away.
Yes, right. Wow.
Yeah.
And how about exercise or fitness? Did you have to have physical therapy?
Well, you said you had physical occupational therapy.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and but how are you able to get back into like kayaking? And do you?
I haven't yet.
Okay, I would say, are we there yet, or okay?
I think that I am.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to go alone.
Sure.
But I think that I'm strong enough now to where I could do it. I may have some pain afterwards, which I'm used to that. It's just something I deal with. But yeah, I am gonna do it again. I'm gonna make sure to do it this summer. So far it's been a little too cold. But yeah, I am gonna try it this summer again.
Okay.
Very exciting.
And your son, did he just graduate then?
He is. He just got done with 9th grade.
Okay.
So he's going into 10th, and he's in football, basketball, track, all of that good stuff.
Back to normal. Okay.
Yeah. So he does weightlifting during the summer, and his school is like one town over. So we do open enrollment.
Okay.
So when I drop him off for weightlifting, I go to the park and then do my walking.
Okay.
And I'm going fishing, and then just I'm gardening now.
Okay.
And so I'm just trying to keep myself active with those types of things. And then once I, feel more up to it, I'll probably join a gym and do more of the heavy stuff.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, get the muscles back.
And
Yeah, because I still have an issue like going up and down stairs. There's equilibrium issues, so I can't ride a bike. But it'll get better.
Okay. Yeah. And have you looked into like a recumbent bike?
No, what is that?
It's where you're seated and bicycling.
Oh.
And they go very, 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 very fast.
Because you're so low to the ground,
It feels
the
like
wind
you,
resistance
yes,
isn't
and
there.
you go very quickly.
Oh, okay. I'll look that up.
Yeah. And sometimes you can get, they can be, like adjusted to you.
And you could get one with a little electric motor, so if
To
you do
assist.
run out of steam,
Right.
it could still get you home.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they also have them that fold up and the wheels come off, and so you could,
Transport 'em in
put
your
it
car.
in the car trunk. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll send
look that up.
I'll send you a couple of links on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, Jean and I got some years ago when she was recovering from brain surgery because she didn't have any balance.
Right.
And this way, you got two wheels in the back and one in the front, and you don't have to balance. And you're sitting really
Oh.
low to the ground, so you can't. I guess you
If
could tip over.
I was
But,
gonna say, it's harder,
but she was going like 15 miles an hour,
and it felt very fast.
and it was.
I bet it did.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It kind of it makes you feel like you're back to normal a little bit because the bike is working for you.
Yeah. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
And
Okay.
you've been through an incredible amount. What do you do to help reduce stress?
TikTok.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but
No,
it's
we've heard a
been
lot
my-
of people say like TV.
Yeah.
You need something
Yeah.
to turn your mind off.
I do, and it helps me because I'm able to find other people that have been through the same things. And I've actually had quite a few people reach out and ask me advice because they just recently got diagnosed with Blastomycosis, or someone's boyfriend just got off ECMO, and
Right.
all of that stuff. So it's been nice to be able to help people.
Oh, sure.
And the humor, I try to cope with humor, so I
Okay.
use TikTok for that. And then I also want to raise awareness.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Because we had never even heard of this before, and we're in the Midwest.
Yeah, we've been doing
Right.
this for quite a number of years, but it really kind of, wow. I mean, it's a big hit for a
Yeah.
body to take, so I think we should talk about it. Well, that
And
that explains your advocacy work, the fact that it took social media to encourage you to do that, and you're just doing it. You're knocking the socks off of it. That's great.
I'm trying to make it mandatory that in highly endemic areas, like where I live, if someone doesn't respond to the first round of antibiotics, I think that fungal testing should be mandatory at that point.
Sure.
Because they had waited a month and a half.
Right. And, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like medical malpractice to me.
But no, but that's a great idea and a reform that sounds like it's time to put that in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I am getting an attorney. Not so much for, I don't know about medical malpractice. I don't, I'm just happy to be alive.
Right.
Yeah.
But I do want something within the hospital systems that makes it to where they need to do that testing as soon as you don't respond.
Right.
Because I would have never been on ECMO if they would have caught it in time.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Now,
So, yeah,
were
that's my
you
biggest
initially at like a community hospital?
Yes.
Okay, I think
I was
yeah.
very small community hospital.
Yeah.
So every time I had to be transferred via ambulance to the bigger hospital in Appleton, Wisconsin. And then and that was about an hour away from where I live. And then from there, that's when I got airlifted to
Right.
a UW.
And
Yeah.
it does I think it would also make sense to have it where when you're, like on the pharmaceutical level, when they see patients refilling, getting their second or their third antibiotic, to step in there and question what's going on here.
Sure.
Because,
in other words, the pharmacist should have some input into the treatment as well, besides just passing out meds.
Or that it should raise a flag where they contact the healthcare provider, because either the patient isn't following the antibiotic procedure or something is off.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, it just would have saved so much more. I mean,
sure.
I fortunately have insurance, so I didn't have to deal with the financial aspect of it.
But you were away from your home and
there's
everything that you do on a daily basis, which takes
so
a hit.
We lost one whole income because I can't work. And I've obviously been denied disability so far. I don't know why.
Oh.
But so I'm trying to appeal that, but that's been difficult. So yeah, we've been struggling, but hopefully, everything will work out.
Right.
Well, you've got a very positive attitude, and I think that's going to go a long way with your recovery.
And I think countless people will appreciate the changes that you're trying to implement. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Jean.
I was going to just ask, what advice do you have for someone who's just been diagnosed with blastomycosis?
Make sure you take your medication every single day.
Okay.
Because and you never know. I didn't think I was immune suppressed when I got sick. So I would have never thought that it would have taken over my body the way that it did. Because people get blastomycosis all the time. I mean, not all the time, but up here, and if it won't even present as symptoms to some people. So, or they'll just get like flu-like symptoms and then it goes away. And then for people like me, it completely takes over the body, fueled by the prednisone that they were giving me.
Right.
That caused it to just completely take over. So yes, taking the medicine, even though you have to be on it for 9 months to a year, to fully get rid of it. Like I just started testing negative for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, just a couple months ago.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. I'm happy about that. But yeah, the medicine you have to be on for a year, and yes, it causes horrible damage. It made me lose all my hair. And it doesn't make you feel good at all. I mean, you feel sick on it, but you have to take it.
Okay.
You have to.
Okay. So I guess the same advice would go for supporting people like family and friends.
Right.
They should also help you.
Right.
And let you know, yes, we understand that it's rough, it's got the side effects, but we want you in our lives, and please, let's just take this medicine.
Right. And to stick with someone and realize that it's not done and dusted very quickly, and they need additional support. And
Right. It's a long-term recovery.
Right.
Yes. And that's a good thing to point out, too, when people get out of the hospital after such a trauma and after such a long time. When they get home, everybody just automatically assumes that everything's okay. You're cured. You're good.
Right.
And that's not the case.
No, you're out of the hospital because you're no longer you're stable.
Unstable.
I was gonna say all you are is stable.
Yeah.
But yeah, not right. Okay.
Yeah. So that was a big thing that I had to kind of implement with my son and my partner, just because males they don't understand.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to kind of let them know, hey, I look better, but I'm not back to normal.
Right.
Well, what are your goals for the next year?
Kayaking's on there.
Yeah.
What else do you have going?
And you said fishing. What kind of fishing do you do?
Just your basic. I mean,
Okay.
I don't
River
even
and
keep
small
them.
lakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I live in the chain of lakes of Wisconsin.
Okay.
So we have 23 beautiful lakes right around
Wow.
us.
Yeah.
And then kayaking, obviously raising awareness, still dealing with getting all the diagnoses of the after effects of being on ECMO. I see a neurologist for that. And then I'm pursuing EMDR therapy for the PTSD.
Right.
So that's been big, and just basically getting back to as much of a normal life as I can.
Okay.
That's my biggest goal.
Okay. Well, we wish you the very best on that journey.
And I am going to ask a horrible question, and I'm going to get stares and canceled after this. I think it's called The Last of Us. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Okay. Has it changed your perspective on something like that?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, obviously with climate, the climate problem that we have, these fungal infections are becoming more and more prevalent. So, with global warming and things like that, it's just getting worse and worse. So, with movies like that, yeah, it definitely makes me think.
Yeah. Well, thank you ever so much, Sarah. We really sincerely appreciate it, and can't express enough how thankful we are that you're here to talk with us, and that you're improving the advocacy on this and affecting change, which is amazing.
Right.
And how can our listeners learn more about you and find you on social media?
Oh, sure. I am on TikTok. If you look, my name is Sarah Olson, and I believe my @ is SKEEETAH. And you can find me on TikTok. I'm on Facebook as well under my full name.
Okay.
And I can provide links or whatever if you would like.
That would be great, because we'll post them on the webpage that goes along with this episode.
Right.
And we can also have them included with the wherever the people pick up this podcast, they can find the links there as well.
Right.
Okay.
And
I'll do that.
If you could stay online with us until we upload the rest of the audio, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. And if our listeners have any questions or comments related to today's show, they can contact us at podcastdx@yahoo.com or info@podcastdx.com. Our website is podcastdx.com.
And as always, please keep in mind that this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment, and before undertaking a new healthcare regime. And never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you've heard of this podcast.
Till next week.